Welcome back. You're watching Big Deal, and we are talking about the hectic M&A activity in the cement sector. Jigar is here with me in the studio. So, Jigar, you've really tracked the entire cement sector for a very long time. When we talk about consolidation by the big players, who could be up for sale now?
Yeah, Nisha, actually, cement sector is very unique in one way. If you talk to any cement company, they'll happily say that we can build brownfield capacity at $70 a ton. M&A happens anywhere between $140 and $170 a ton. And if you look at the listed cement plays, they are down 25% from their 52-week highs. And Ultratech, Shri Cement, Ambuja still trading about $200 a ton. Most industries, you will have an acquisition premium. Here, there is an acquisition discount, which is very surprising in and of itself.
Yeah.
Now, look at the arithmetic. If you buy an asset at $175 a ton, right? Even if you fund it 50% with debt and you want to make a 15% ROE, the EBITDA per ton needs to go up to 2,500 rupees a ton.
Yes.
Right? Currently, it is 1,000 for last year. Arguably, it will be closer to 800 rupees this year, right? Or even lower. So if a company is acquiring a new asset and everybody is growing, demand is growing only at a certain click, then how would it incrementally make sense to buy at $175 a ton? And if secondary shareholders keep paying $200 a ton, thereby company, happily invest at $70 and get valued at $200, then why would they stop adding capacity?
Right.
And if a capacity is not going to get stopped, then how would the demand supply come into equilibrium, right?
Right.
Surprisingly, the acquisition also here plays a part. So I'm with Anil sir when he said that strong players have sold out as well.
Yes.
But Holcim bought it at $200, $207, sold it at $170, $180.
Yes.
And essentially, they could have been better off putting money in the US Treasury market, right? Might not have had to invest in India per se.
Yes.
At $175, if it's not going to make money, then consolidation itself is going to be a very large problem, I think.
Right.
So smaller players, if they're getting $175, the ROC of the listed players is not at a level where you are generating returns which are higher than your cost of capital.
Right.
So I would say they're better off selling assets rather than continuing to build for the smaller players per se.
All right, very important point made there. Let me throw that question to Mangesh as well. Mangesh, as per your analysis, the deal valuations that we have seen in the recent past, the pricing mechanism, it's more of a regional play. Do you think that this disruption is going to have an impact on the pricing power as well? Because a new player may want to be more aggressive in capturing the market share first and then look at the margins, but after making quite expensive acquisitions as well. How do you see this particular aspect, which will have a huge bearing on the market dynamics as well as the equity share return for the shareholders in the market?
Yeah. So I think in order to succeed in a commodity, you need to have scale, that is one. And secondly, you need to be cost efficient. And I think Adani is striving to do both. They have already announced the scale ambitions. And on the cost, they strive to be one of the lowest cost producer. They have not detailed it out how they want to do it. But if they are able to succeed in that aspect, obviously the industry would follow them later on. But then that would be the decider where the pricing will go. So I don't think that just because of this, second thing that I believe for Adani is that I think they will go for acquisitions first up. And then they would look at brownfield, because then at least the CCI angle will not come into play. They can reach up to 25-30% in a capacity in a region, and then you start growing organically. I think that would be the play for Adani. And that's why at least initially, I think the pricing should be kept in a good state, because largely the expansion should be driven through acquisitions, which will not lead to increased supply in the market. So I do believe, and eventually if there is a situation that we have a very large two players in the system, then obviously pricing should remain healthy over a longer term.
All right, pricing to remain healthy, you are saying, despite a disruptor with aggressive stance also coming in. Anil Singhvi, how do you see this particular aspect? And I want to also throw light on one aspect that, the past M&As have happened because of various different points. There was a divestiture in a big M&A because of which Lafarge deal had happened. They had to they had to sell off that particular unit as part of the antitrust, requirements. And on the other hand, Holcim was giving up on India assets also to reduce their carbon emission globally and also to get some cash out of the business. Now, how do you see, some of those reasons really trickling in the future trajectory of M&A going forward?
Nisha, I think it's a very important point which you've raised, and I always believe that except the entry of Holcim, which was to a very large extent was initiated by us, there are no foreign players. So first of all, you must make it very clear there is a regional and an Indian play. So regional play more importantly because India is a very large country, and as Jigar mentioned, cement prices are just about 5-6 rupees a kilo. So it has to be a regional play for all the time to come in. Now, how does the M&A really work out? I don't think M&A works out on the basis of what we are describing here, $60, $70. $80, $120. It doesn't work like that. To my mind, it is of no use. The issue is very simple, that today if I want to expand my footprints, and this is what at least for 25 years I did in Ambuja, if I want to really have my footprints in the geographical reach, which I really need to have it, then dollars per ton and all that is all humbug. I need to have it how my market share in that particular market will be. And if you don't buy a cement plant for 1 or 2 or 3 years, it's a 50-year, 100-year-old assets are still working on that. So I think it's a very big strategy which will become in play. As far as CCI is concerned, I think even in Lafarge's case, because they were foreigners and all that, they couldn't fight this whole matter. But I don't think it was the right decision even by CCI to have asked them to sell off Lafarge's assets. And going forward, I don't think it's going to be. Which was the last time you heard an Indian company really finding it difficult with CCI?
But to really intervene over there, Anil Singhvi, CCI was one of the big concerns because of which Ultratech couldn't go full blow on the Holcim transaction as well. Because they could really understand that CCI clearance will be difficult in this case.
I give you there because ultimately Ultratech today is about 130 million tons, and this would have been 65, which would have made them almost close to 40% of the India's market. That would not have been possible. But 10 million tons, like what Lafarge sold out on that, I don't think in the scheme of things today will have a problem for Mr. Adani or for Ultratech. It could be a problem if suppose tomorrow you want a smaller player having 20 million ton capacity and want to acquire 10 million tons. In that particular geographical area, again, as I mentioned to you, you must be looking at India as a regional, and every region has a cement plays out on that.
Yes.
So basis that, I think going forward, Ambuja and ACC both will be working on looking at expanding their footprint.
That is done. That is actually well understood, Anil Singhvi. So I'll ask you one final question and expect a quick answer from you. We are running out of time here. So you said that valuations don't matter, whether it makes sense numerically in the short term. It doesn't matter. It's about becoming a full pan-India player. Some regions are going to be important. So my one question to you, is cement turning out to be the big boys play in the country going forward?
Definitely. I think it was given on platter to Ultratech by Holcim for last 10 years, and that rule of game has changed completely. Holcim was a passive player. Mr. Adani is proactive player, not only aggressive, very proactive. You'll see huge amount of M&A activity in the next 12 months. Take my words.
All right. So that sounds good for the deal straight. Thank you so much, Anil Singhvi, as well as Mangesh, Jigar, for joining us on this quite an interesting discussion on the M&A activity in the cement sector. And we'll keep tracking that very, very closely right here on Big Deal. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.